Είμαστε και πάλι μαζί, κυρίες και κύριοι. Δεύτερο μέρος της εκπομπής Ευρώπη τώρα στο Thrakinet. Ας δούμε το επόμενό μας θέμα. Ευρωπαϊκό Εξάμηνο. Το εργαλείο που θα κρατήσει τις χώρες της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης σε υγιή κατάσταση.
In the beginning, there was the Eurozone. Members and would-be members were expected to limit their government deficit to 3% of gross domestic product and public debt levels to 60%. This was meant to confine crises to the past and guarantee stability. So far, so good. But in 2008, a crisis broke out and many member states came clean about not having followed the rules after all. The crisis had many causes, but it didn't help that all the countries had been doing their own bookkeeping and budgeting in isolation. So in 2010, when the European Union defined its new strategy for growth, the objectives included better coordination of national policies in the areas of budget, growth and employment. The member states and EU institutions now work closely together to a precise timetable during the preparations of national budgets. This process, known as the European semester, allows the EU to keep a close eye on the countries. All these institutions have their say on the subject. First, the European Commission sets the priorities of the EU for the year ahead. The European Parliament and the EU Council then discuss and approve them. At the beginning of every year, each member state is scrutinised on their economic situation, their reform programmes and potential imbalances. The Parliament can invite the presidents of other institutions to discuss issues related to the European semester and call for dialogue with member states. At the spring meeting of the European Council, the heads of state and government set the economic and fiscal guidelines for the EU. It's then up to member states to follow these in their reform agenda and their plan to guarantee sound public finances. The EU institutions then review the economic situation and policies of each state and issue country-specific recommendations. These recommendations then have to be followed by member states when drawing up their national budgets.
Αυστηρότεροι κανονισμοί για τα ιατρικά προϊόντα. Οι ευρωβουλευτές επεξεργάζονται σχέδια για την βελτίωση της ασφάλειας και της ιχνηλασιμότητας των ιατρικών προϊόντων.
Complications arising from surgical procedures caused by faulty devices are rare but can happen, especially as there are some 25,000 companies trying to place their products on the European market. In 2011, the PIP breast implant scandal, where cheap industrial silicone was put into implants, forced thousands of women to undergo surgery to have them removed. Incidents such as this were proof that legislation on medical devices used in all types of medical procedures, ranging from surgery to diagnostic examinations, needed an overhaul. Parliament gave its full approval to a preliminary text in 2014.
We need a clear picture, and we need the possibility to give to all the patients a clear view of what they are going to implant in their body in terms of medical device. In the past, we have no security, not process of authorization of the devices.
Obligations will be placed on manufacturers to ensure safety as well as random inspections on devices. Patients and doctors will also be given information on implants used to increase traceability. Last autumn, final negotiations between Parliament and Member States began. The two institutions agreed to place a legal obligation on the EU Commission to draw up a list of devices that cannot be reused. But the EU's executive has some reservations.
They want a negative list, they want not to have the possibility to reprocess some devices.
It is estimated that by 2060 there will be double the number of people aged over 65 years old, and so ensuring medical devices are of the best quality is of utmost importance.
Σούπερ μάρκετ εναντίον αγροτών. Διαιτητής η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση. Το Ευρωπαϊκό Κοινοβούλιο πιέζει για την καταπολέμηση των αθέμητων εμπορικών πρακτικών στην τροφική αλυσίδα που βλάπτουν τους αγρότες.
Jean-Yves Van Campenole gathers strawberries in the last remaining days of this year's season. Bulging with juice, flavour and sweetness, they're a reminder perhaps of a forgotten era. But unless you travel to his farm near Nivelles in Belgium, you're unlikely to share the experience. They're destined for his farm shop, not the supermarkets. The reason? Unfair trading practices, which in the absence of effective EU legislation, Parliament has begun trying to improve.
Une grande surface assez importante en Belgique m'avait commandé une variété bien précise et au fur et à mesure qu'on avançait dans la saison, puisque apparemment ils vendaient moins que ce qu'eux avaient pensé vendre, ils m'ont pris de moins en moins de quantité. Ils ont dit que la qualité n'était plus bonne alors que la qualité était parfaite.
What did Mr. Van Campenole learn from the experience?
La grande surface a un pouvoir de vente important et un pouvoir de pression sur les producteurs, ça c'est sûr. Heureusement, je ne suis pas dépendant que de ce créneau-là de vente et je produis différents légumes.
He farms around 36 hectares and now sells principally wholesale and at the shop. A resolution passed in Parliament for measures to improve the food supply chain may encourage him. There's a lot to be fixed, says the Polish MEP leading the drive, Edward Czesak.
To nieterminowa zapłata za dostarczone produkty, wymuszanie na dostawcach różnych opłat półkowych czy promocyjnych, jak również przenoszenie kosztów, czy to transportu, czy magazynowania tychże artykułów.
MEPs highlight the situation where suppliers are forced to sell at below production cost or bear the costs of supermarket offers. Consumers are in turn hit, they say, by poorer choice. So too is innovation.
Duże sieci mają rozwiniętą sprzedaż detaliczną i w związku z tym zapotrzebowanie na te produkty żywnościowe od dostawców i producentów są duże. I w związku z tym na nieuprzywilejowanej pozycji znajdują się dostawcy z uwagi na to, że dyktują warunki ci wielcy.
An overwhelming majority of MEPs voted to support Mr. Czesak's report, produced at Parliament's own initiative and therefore not binding on the Commission.
Poszczególni producenci, rolnicy winni godnie zarabiać na tych produktach, aby nie tylko się ich pozbywać i sprzedawać po niższych cenach niż koszt ich wytworzenia.
The ball is now in the court of the European Commission to answer these demands.
Κυρίες και κύριοι, εδώ ολοκληρώθηκε ακόμα μία εκπομπή Ευρώπη τώρα. Σας ευχαριστούμε θερμά που μας παρακολουθήσατε. Μέχρι την επόμενη εβδομάδα που θα τα ξαναπούμε, να είστε όλοι καλά. Καλή σας νύχτα.